All right, so getting into this next game, we got the Orlando Magic visiting the Houston Rockets. This game is to be played at 8 o'clock Tuesday night. All right, this game opened up at over under 213. Houston plus 2.5. This line has since moved. The over under went up to 215, and Houston plus 3. I kind of do agree with the movement on both sides, and let me explain why, you guys. All right, so but before we get into that, let's look at the injury report. All right, so for Orlando, you got Caleb Houston is probable. Franz Wagner, very important cog for the Orlando Magic. He's questionable. He exited the last game with a right ankle sprain, and it has yet been established whether or not he's going to play against the Rockets. They need him for the playoffs. They need to be healthy when they go into the playoffs, but at the same time, they kind of do need this game. So this is going to be a very tough decision for the Orlando Magic coach and for Franz if he's going to play. Jonathan Isaac, as usual, questionable. All right, like Mr. Glass out there. He's a great defensive player, and he comes through, can play all 5 positions as far as guarding all 5 positions. But, man, come on, man. The dude stays hurt. He stays hurt. He's Mr. Glass out there. All right. And then when you talk about with Houston, all right, it's the same injuries. All right. Sengun's out, Tate's out, Easton's out, and Adams is out. So there's been no change as far as what's going on with Houston and their injury status. When you're talking about these two teams, you're talking about Orlando Magic team who have recently beat the Bulls and Pelicans while losing to the Hornets. Where, yeah, the Hornets, guys. The Hornets, man. Come on, man. All right. And then you got the Houston Rockets. Okay. So they're coming off losses to the Mavericks, Timberwolves, Warriors, and Heat. All right. So they're not looking too good in their last 4 games either. But let's look at these two teams head to head. Head to head, right? Rockets run this series 6-4 in the last 10. Against the spread, Magic actually run this series 6-4. And as far as over-under trends, it's 6 to the over, 3 to the under, and 1 push. These two teams have seen each other this season. Magic demolished them 116-86. They covered the 4.5, and it went under the 219.5. That was in Orlando, like the first game of the year or whatever like that. Out of the last 4 times these teams have played, Houston's only beat them 1 time. In the last 5, Houston's beaten them twice. Okay, and Orlando has covered 3 of the last 4 times that these two teams have seen each other. It's gone over 2 of the last 4 times they've seen each other as well. So it's a mixed bag. It kind of goes under when it's in Orlando and goes over when it's in Houston, from what it looks like to me. Even though it has gone over in Orlando, yeah, when they're in Houston, that thing goes over usually in these last 10, man. But so situationally against the spread right now, the Orlando Magic, we all know that we've been cashing with them all year. Okay, they're like one of the best, if not the best, team against the spread in the NBA. I think they're like top 3 right now against the spread in the NBA. And as an away favorite, they're 8-3 against the spread, whereas Houston, as a home underdog, is 12-8, man. So like they are a live dog out here. All right, and when you're talking about as far as rest is concerned, like these two teams, Magic have played. This will be their 3rd game in 4 nights. All right, that's a lot. You're starting to ramp up right now. Okay, and they just they're flying in from Chicago, so that's not that far of a distance, and they played on Sunday. Whereas Houston, this is their 4th game in 5 nights, 5th game in 7 nights. All right, so and they're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game losing streak, and as far as coverage is concerned, they're on a 3-game losing streak there too, and they've gone over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. Okay, like. Let's just look a little bit deeper before we start making any decisions, though, man. So over under, all right, situationally as a away favorite, the Magic have gone 10 to the over, 14 to the under, and Houston as an away favorite, the Magic have gone 5 to the over and 6 to the under, whereas Houston as a home underdog has gone 10 to the over, 9 to the under with 1 push. All right, so these two teams, man, you're looking at one team that is get ready to go to Cancun. But this is their last game at home. This is Houston's last game at home for the rest of the season. All right. So, will Ime Duque get these guys pumped up and ready to go for this last game to kind of come out for the crowd? Is Orlando going to understand the importance of the fact that they are right now sitting in the number 4 seed, 1 game back from Cleveland, and they're only 2 games out of the number 2 spot, man. Okay. Playoff seeding, very, very important for the Orlando Magic. They need as many home games as possible, and they kind of need the easiest route as possible. Not saying that they're going to be making it to the finals or anything like that, but if they want to kind of show something this season, they got to at least win the first round. All right. So in the last 10 games, the Orlando Magic are 6-4 straight up, 5-5 against the spread, 3 to the over, 7 to the under. Yeah, they have not. They lost to Charlotte when they were coming in on a 3-game win streak, had just beat New Orleans in New Orleans. Okay, it seems like they win 3, they lose 3, or then they win 1, they lose 1. Man, Magic, you just don't know what's going on with them. They've been up and down lately, and without Wagner, man, you can't really trust them. Okay, but then again, let's not shut the door on them. Let's look at what's going on with Houston. Houston's 5-5 total in the last 10. They're 5-5 against the spread. And it's 8 to the over, 2 to the under in the last 10 games that this team has played. All right, they're playing a lot faster pace since Sengun has been out. That's because there's been nothing but guards. Sengun's kind of been running the offense prior to. Jalen Green gets the ball in his hand more. Now, it's just a more free-flowing offense, even though Sengun is a beast and he is probably one of their best players. They can play a lot faster right now, and so that's why their games and totals have been going over. All right, so if you look in the last 3 games, right, the Magic are scoring 115 points per game. They're giving up 110 points per game, whereas Houston is scoring 116.7 points per game and giving up 133 points a game. All right, this Houston team's been liking to get out and run as of late, and sometimes that's not the best thing for the Magic. Okay, they got big men. The guard play isn't the best. A lot of people like Jalen Suggs. I'm really not a big fan of Jalen Suggs. I don't think he brings enough to the offensive end. Yeah, but so let's look at how they match up. All right, you got the number 25 offense with Orlando versus the number 12 defense with Houston. So their defense has really fallen off since Sengun's gone out. They were a top 10 defense at one point, and they just slipped a little bit. Now, when you're talking about Houston's offense, Houston scores 114.2 points per game on the season, so they're ranked 16th offensively versus the number 3 defense in the NBA when you're talking about the Orlando Magic, man. And the Orlando Magic, in general, their best quarters of defense is every quarter. They come out number 7 first quarter, number 2 in the second quarter, number 7 in the third quarter, and number 3 in the fourth quarter. So they are coming in locked in all game. All right. Whereas Houston, they only come in locked in on that first quarter. After that, it starts slipping. They go from 9th to 11th to 13th to 17th. So as the game goes on, their defense gets worse. All right, and their offense ain't the greatest either, unless you're looking in the third quarter. That third quarter, that offense comes out. They're number 8 in the NBA as far as offense is concerned. So to get back on to where we're going to be heading with this game, so we can get this one over with. The Magic have won 12 of their last 13 games against teams that held a losing record. The Magic have covered the spread in each of their last 8 road games against Western Conference opponents following a win, and 6 of the Magic's last 7 night games on the first leg of a back-to-back have gone under the total points line. Whereas the Rockets have won 4 of their last 5 games as home underdogs following a road loss. The Rockets have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 8 home games following an overtime loss. All right, and each of the Rockets' last 7 games as underdogs have gone over the total points line, with the fact that they're coming in off of that overtime game. All right, and the Magic are really playing for something right now. My lean would be the Magic minus the points right now as far as the total's concerned. I probably am leaning towards which I'm definitely not going to bet it, but just to give you guys a pick, I would probably be leaning towards the Magic team total points or over, or maybe Houston's team total points over. I don't think the game is going to necessarily go over, but I think this game is going to be a little closer than they think, man. That 3 points is good. Don't get me wrong, but I liked it better when it was at 1.5 and 2 points last night. If I play this game, it'll probably be money line, you guys. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man.